What's up, Wise Flyers? Welcome to another episode of Points on Points, where we talk about travel points, credit cards, and anything else travel related so that you could travel anywhere in the world almost free. Today, we're joined by our guest, Lynn from Go-To Travel Gal. Lynn, how are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. So my name is David. I'm the host of Points on Points, as well as the founder of Wise Flies. So before we get started, we're going to find out a little bit more about Lynn and about how she got started with travel points and what Go-To Travel Gal is. So Lynn, you mind sharing a little more information on that?
Sure. So I was a longtime couponer who was always looking to score like free boxes of toothpaste or cereal or whatever, you name it.
Yeah.
And I'm a travel writer as well. And I was pitched one day on how to use miles and points to travel free. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I always thought frequent flyer miles, you had to fly on an airplane to earn those. I didn't realize there were other ways to earn it. So I quickly got into this hobby. And once I figured out the Southwest Companion Pass, I thought, okay, we must have that. So that was really my entrance. We focused on the Companion Pass and then went from there. So I just thought I traded my coupons for miles and points, and what a whole lot better value. I got free trips instead of free boxes of toothpaste, right?
Right.
So at Go-To Travel Gal, I really take a simple focus. My goal is to help people travel as much as possible by using the simplest ways I can show them to collect and redeem miles and points. That's my focus.
Awesome. And yeah, just a little tidbit for all the viewers out there. Lynn and I met a couple of years ago. We were both writing for millionmilesecrets.com, and that's kind of how we met, and we've just kept in touch ever since. So Lynn, before we get started, what is your favorite award redemption you've ever taken?
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly give you two, only because the first one has to be the first trip we ever took free flying on miles, right? Which was Southwest, and we flew to San Diego. So that was amazing. We couldn't believe we did that. But other than that one, it would be our trip that we took all together for the first time to Europe 2 years ago. I have 2 kids, so there's 4 of us. And so we did, when the Chase Sapphire Reserve had that 100,000 point intro offer, my husband was able to get that, and we used the Aer Lingus deal where you can fly for 26,000 miles per person round trip to Europe. And that was just exactly enough to get 4 of us to Europe and back. So that was amazing.
That's a really good one. I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve at 100,000 too.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if they'll ever be back. That was a great deal.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And you said that you had one more?
Oh, well, my first one is just the first trip we ever took using miles and points, which was to San Diego on Southwest. So that was back October 2015, I think. And we couldn't believe all 4 of us flew on a plane for free to San Diego. Before that, we were just taking like 1 or 2 car trips a year as our family. Like, we didn't fly anywhere because it wasn't in our budget. So this just opened the world of travel to us. And so now we fly 6 or more times a year. We mostly focus within the U.S. And the Caribbean, but we try to get to Europe, here and there as well.
Nice. Yeah, it is pretty amazing how travel points can completely change your life. And especially, I remember my first time flying for free as well. It's like, up until the point where you actually fly, you're not sure if it's real or not. And until you get something tangible like a free flight, then you're hooked. You're just addicted after that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know what we would do without it now.
Right. Awesome. So the way this is going to work is we're going to talk about these 5 topics on the screen. There's going to be a 2-minute timer for each topic. And being our special guest, you're going to get this first topic of the best Southwest credit card. So we'll start the timer now. And you're up.
Okay, so hands down, the best Southwest credit card, I think, is the newest one, which is the Priority Card. So especially if you fly on Southwest a lot, it is an outstanding deal. It does have a $149 annual fee, but it's definitely counteracted by, you get a $75 travel credit, which you can use for early bird seating. And those of us who fly Southwest know the whole check-in and the seating thing is the worst part of flying Southwest. So this card gives you 4 A1 through 15 boarding orders, which means you are the first to board the plane. You get the best pick of seats, which that is amazing. And then you could use your $75 either to pay for flights or to book early bird, which checks you in, not as great as A1 through 15, but sort of in the next best set after that. So I think if you fly Southwest, you can't beat those perks. And then you get the most anniversary points every year as well. And those qualify for the companion pass. So those points always help me every year continue to get that pass.
Yeah, definitely. I think the priority card is a really good card as well. Just to give a little overview of the Southwest credit cards, there are 3 personal Southwest credit cards, 1 business card. There's the Plus, the Premier, and the Priority. So as you mentioned, the Priority has the highest annual fee, but the Plus is an annual fee of $69, the Premier is $99, and the Priority is $49. So it may seem intuitive to go for the lowest annual fee, like the Southwest Plus card with a $69 annual fee, which is good. But if you get the Priority card, as Lynn mentioned, you get a $75 Southwest credit. So just from there, you're already, if you use that Southwest credit, you could subtract 75 from the 149. That gives you a $74 annual fee. Plus you get all those other benefits. That's the timer. Plus, you get all those other benefits like early bird seating, and you get the 7,500 points annual credit as well. So you're getting more than that $149 annual fee. Even though it may seem high, you're getting a lot of value out of it. Yes, so that's the one I choose too, the priority card. And if you want to apply for any of these cards or learn more about them, I have links in the description below. So the next topic we're going to talk about is are annual fees worth paying for credit cards? So I'll take this one. I'll start off. So let me start the timer. All right. So I think for anyone starting out, an annual fee to a credit card may seem ridiculous. Why would you pay an annual fee just to get a credit card if you're going to use it? And I totally get that. That's what I thought in the beginning as well. For anyone just starting out, there are plenty of no annual fee version or options for credit cards, like with Chase. If you were to start out, you could get the Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Chase Freedom. Those are great. But the reason why, and the only way I could justify paying an annual fee for a credit card, is if I'm getting more value out of that credit card than I'm paying for. So I'll give 2 examples. With the Chase United Explorer card, with the annual fee of $95, you're getting free checked bags. And so it's $30 per person per way if you were to pay for bags. So if it's 2 people round trip, that's $120 you're saving right there. And you're actually in the green, especially with paying the annual fee of $95. With Chase IHG card, a few weeks ago, I stayed at a Key West hotel. I redeemed my free anniversary award night every year for paying the annual fee of $49. If I would have paid full price for that hotel, it would have been $330. So I definitely got a lot of value for paying $49 for the year. Lynn, what are your thoughts?
Yes, I agree completely. And I like to use this example. The first year that we used miles and points to fly free, so we flew 4 people to 6 different destinations for less than $100 per flight total. And so that cost, as you said, comes from the annual fees that we paid. I signed up for 1 personal, 1 business Southwest card, so the annual fees for those. And then the security fees that you have to pay in the United States, which are $5.60 per person per way. And then early on, when we were first in this, we bought a few points from Southwest to just get us to the tipping point so that we would have enough points to book that first flight. So I don't do that anymore. But so I added all that up, and that's what it came to. So as you can see, there's clearly, if we took 6 flights for 4 people for less than $100, and we just paid a $99 annual fee for 2 each car, that is a heck of a deal that you cannot beat.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's another great point, Lynn. Like if you do it right, you get a ton of value when paying the annual fee. It's actually better if you get more than the annual fee that you're paying. Those are great points. So our next topic is a simple points strategy to share. So Lynn, I'm going to start the clock now. And simple point strategy.
So I am all about keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method is what I always say, because I don't want to spend tons of time like checking for award redemptions and, having to buy tons of points and manage a bunch of different credit cards and not, pay them on time and get confused. So I have dialed miles and points down to the simplest strategy for my busy readers. So I think that Southwest has the easiest program. It's great for beginners, and it's very simple to manage. So the key is really just earning the Southwest Companion Pass, which lets one person always fly free with you while you hold the pass. And you have to earn 110,000 qualifying Southwest points to get that. And that sounds like a lot, but I teach my readers it's actually very simple to do. You definitely can do it with about 2 credit cards from Southwest and a little bit more work. There's other ways too if you don't want to sign up for 2 cards. But so once you have that pass in hand, you're never paying for one person ever, either in points or in cash. So then there's other very simple ways to continue to earn points on Southwest with just a handful of cards. And we pretty much use our Southwest cards and Chase Sapphire Reserve and then Preferred. And we just transfer those Chase Ultimate Rewards points over to Southwest. And that keeps us flying the bulk of the year. Like 90% of the travel we do is within the U.S. Now, of course, Southwest flies to Hawaii and they fly to some great destinations in the Caribbean. So we were able to take our first trip to the Caribbean as well last year to Grand Cayman and loved it. It's amazing.
Nice. Yeah, I think Southwest gives a tremendous amount of value. Like you said, if you maximize that program and you go to the Caribbean and now Hawaii for really cheap prices, points prices, as well as cash prices with a lot of sales that they have, definitely a lot of value there. So with my simple point strategy, what I would recommend is to have a plan for applying for credit cards, if you plan on applying for credit cards in the first place. So you want to make sure that you're not just randomly applying for credit cards. You want to know which credit cards to apply for first. And especially if you have a trip in mind, which points are going to give you the like a free one-way or round trip to that destination, and you just pay the taxes. So my tip would be to just take a second, think about your strategy, and don't just apply for all the random cards, because as on this channel, I mentioned tons of credit cards that give you a lot of free travel, but it doesn't mean you should apply for all of them at once. Definitely take it slow, know what you're doing, and step by step. All right, and also, I wanted to mention that Lynn is having a free masterclass on Southwest Airlines and how to maximize the program. Lynn, you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so coming up, I'm going to be teaching a live webinar masterclass on my 6 simple strategies to save on Southwest fares. I have a Facebook group where people share when they find a good deal on Southwest, and the number one question that is asked over and over and over is, when should I book a Southwest flight in order to get the best price? So I'll answer that one real quick as a teaser, but the answer is as early as possible. So Southwest tends to increase over time, and you do the best to get those flights closer to when they're released. So we have so many people like, how do I get, it keeps going up and up. But the point is, if you book on Southwest and then the price goes down, you can cancel that fare with no cancellation fee. And if you paid in points, they will put those points right back in your account. And if you paid in cash and it's a want to get away fare, which is their cheapest fare, they give you a credit back. So that's not as ideal. You have to use that credit in 12 months. But definitely the best strategy is to use points. Go ahead and book any flights you think you're interested in, knowing you can cancel or change it at any time with no penalty.
Yes. And that's
so I will talk about that along with some other tips and hacks that my family has used over the last 4 years to really stretch our points and save on fares on Southwest.
Yes, definitely. And as you mentioned, that's my favorite part about Southwest is that there's free cancellation. You cancel anytime you want and you get your points back in your account if you were to book it with points, and there are no cancellation fees. So I love that about Southwest. And guys, if you want to watch that free masterclass, there's a link in the description below if you want to do that. And also there's a link in the description for gototravelgala.com as well as all the resources that Lynn offers. So definitely check that out. All right, and now our next topic is going to be Southwest to Hawaii. So I'm going to start the clock now. Just to give a general overview, Southwest Airlines recently started flying to Hawaii just last month. So we're in April 2019. They started in March 2019. And it's been a very much anticipated event to fly to Hawaii with Southwest Airlines. So currently they're flying from San Jose and Oakland to Hawaii. Those are the direct flights. And there's talk of flights going from Los Angeles, San Diego, and possibly Las Vegas. So if you plan on going to Hawaii, those are some of the destinations that you could fly from. And I know Lynn knows a lot more about this with Southwest going to Hawaii. So Lynn, what are your thoughts on Southwest and Hawaii?
Yeah, many of my readers are Southwest flyers, and they've just been chomping at the bit for these Hawaii flights to come out. So that was very exciting, and we had a brief moment where they were $49 per way.
That didn't last long. $49 flights to Hawaii.
Right. Yeah. So the demand has been so high for those that I think they quickly filled to capacity, and now the prices are a lot more expensive. And so I've looked, and right now your best opportunity to fly at a reasonable fare, like say around $200 per way, is in October. There's some flight options there that look pretty good. Otherwise, my best tip would be Southwest releases flights about every 4 to 6 weeks. So right now you can book flights through early November. And on May 23rd, they're scheduled to release flights through early January. So a lot of my folks literally set their alarms at 5 a.m., which is when they release the flights.
Right.
And they are up at the crack of dawn booking those fares. And we will find as the day goes on, the fares increase. So if you can get up that early, if you want to go to Hawaii, you could book the release November, December, early January flights, and you'd have the best shot at getting them at the lowest possible price. We are hearing that, because of the MAX 8 grounding, that's delaying Southwest flying from some of these other cities directly, but at least we've got the options from Oakland and San Jose right now.
Right. And you want to just explain a little bit more about the MAX 8 grounding?
Right. So because there were some problems with that aircraft in Europe, the Transportation Security Administration has grounded those planes, and Southwest had about 38 of them, and American had some as well, and so they've had to they can't fly those, and so that's reduced the number of jets they have available to accommodate all their flights, and so I think they're not going to add to the load until that gets resolved. Right now, Southwest has said they'll be grounded through early August, is what we know.
Okay. And is that going to affect the Southwest prices going forward until then?
The only thing I've heard about that is just because there's fewer flight options that could cause fares to increase a bit, but I don't see any other reason why fares would go up. Southwest is pretty good about, keeping they're a low cost carrier, and they live up to that. So I don't think that's not something they would want to do, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely. I was reading about that too. Tons of flights canceled, but supposedly they're working on that to make it better. All right, moving on to our last topic, which is a Southwest secret tip. So, Lynn, I'm going to let you take this one. All right.
Yeah. So I think two of my best hacks when it comes to earning Southwest points that I think are underutilized and people may not take advantage of is one, the Rapid Rewards shopping portal. And all the airlines have their own shopping portals where if you start there, start your online shopping at pretty much any online site except for Amazon, you can earn some amount of points for every dollar you spend. So it might be half a point, it might be 20 points per dollar. So if you're going to be spending or buying online anyway, you might as well start there. But that's not the only thing you can do there. You can also get subscriptions to like the Wall Street Journal and Barron's, and you can earn an easy like 1,000 points for sometimes it's $1 subscription to the Wall Street Journal. So I say, like, get yourself one, buy your parent or your adult child one, whatever, buy one for someone who's not at your address. You can only have one per address. And that's an easy way to earn a lot of points, particularly over the course of a year and the spending that you do. The second tip that I have is Southwest has a website, southwesthotels.com, that allows you to book any hotels through them and earn up to 10,000 points per night, which is a lot. And we use this almost every year. I tend to get my companion pass at the end of the year just because that's the way it worked out the first time I got it. And so it's just continued that way. But I always use that to get the last, how many points I need to get to 110,000 to get our pass. And what I've done even the last 2 years is we're in Indianapolis. I just find the cheapest hotel that I can on the portal here in Indianapolis that's offering the highest number of points. And the points vary based on the hotel. So you got to pick a hotel that has the 10,000 or more points. Book it. We go check in. We never stay in it because sometimes they're not the nicest hotels in the world, but it enables us, we get the points anyway, whether we check in or not. And I had a reader who did this recently. She booked one and then something happened to where she couldn't use it and it was a non-refundable and she got the points without ever even checking in. So I think, and if you're going to be booking hotels and paying for it, you might as well start there. And they do promise to price match if you can find the same price or lower price online for that, same day and hotel or room type. So.
Yeah, I think those are really good strategies. Just one question. So with the southwesthotels.com, you mentioned how the reader didn't even check into the hotel. Do you think that is a good strategy so it could actually expand your search rather than just the city you live in to check in, but national to book the highest points yielding hotel and not even go to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've had trouble before finding one that had that high of points that I was looking for. And I found there's several things when using the site, but it seems the closer to the date you are, the higher the points go because they need to fill those rooms, I'm guessing. Also, when you're searching that site, if you find one that has, say, 10,000 points, click into it. And oftentimes you can spend like another $20 and it'll be like you get 20,000 points if you just get a slightly more expensive room type. So, and that doesn't show on the home screen. So you are having to lay down some cash for that. So there is an expenditure there, but I try to look at the value of my companion pass. So if the average round trip flight in the US is $350 and I can fly someone free with me at least 6 times a year, and the pass is good from the time you earn it until the end of the following year. Mm-hmm. So you could have a pass good for almost 2 years. So you could say do 12 flights times 350. I'm not going to try to do that math, but it's a lot more than the $150 I spent to get 10,000 points for that one hotel night.
Yes, definitely. If you do the math to spend a couple $100 to get the for a hotel, to get the companion pass, and you're going to fly up to 6 times a year, the numbers definitely work out. It's definitely worth getting the companion pass because that companion pass will give you a buy one, get one free ticket to anywhere that Southwest flies. So I think that there's a lot of value there. And yes, the BOGO, the best BOGO ever. Also, so one more question for you. Some people have asked me now if it's worth getting the Southwest companion pass. So At the time of filming this, we're in April 2019. Is it worth getting the companion pass for 2019, which means they'll have it for the rest of 2019 and up until the end of 2020? Is April still a good time to get it?
Yes. I can't imagine answering no, what the no answer to that would be. It's always a good time to get the companion pass. Like I said, I end up getting mine every year, literally at the end of the year. So I've had one in 2015, 2016, 2017, and now 2018. So we're still flying free. So it would be simpler yet, I guess, if you got it at the beginning of the year. So if I got it in January 2019, it was good through the end of 2020 would be ideal. But
Right.
I think any time is a good time to get the companion pass because you have at least a year's worth of bringing someone free. And one mistake that I see people make over and over again, do not make this mistake, is you have to earn all 110,000 points in one calendar year. That's January 1st to December 31st. Clock starts at 0, points start at 0 the next January 1st. So don't make that mistake.
Yes, definitely. And I think a lot of people who are familiar with the companion pass, and if you're not sure what the companion pass is, you could click the link above. I have a video that details exactly how to get the companion pass, what you need to know when you have the companion pass. But I think the majority of people think that in order to get the companion pass, you need to get 2 credit cards, right? So it's one personal Chase Southwest credit card and one business Chase Southwest credit card. Hopefully the sign-up bonuses are high enough where you could get that 110,000 points to reach that threshold to get the companion pass. You were mentioning how you're able to get the companion pass without getting new Chase credit cards every year. How do you get a companion pass after you've already gotten the credit cards? Right.
So I only did the credit card deal for my first companion pass. So I've not applied for any new Southwest cards since then. So what I do is I do earn the referral points. So you can look on Chase Refer a Friend. If you Google that, that'll bring up the Chase website where you can see if you have a referral link for your card. So I have one for my personal card. And of course, I can share that on my blog, which helps, but you can share that with friends and family. You can post it on social media. And it's best if you can share with them how you're using this card to travel free, like that blows people away. And then if people sign up using that link, you can earn 10,000 points for every sign up to 50,000 points across all of the Southwest cards. So I usually have those 50,000 points, and then I do a combination of rapid reward shopping, spending on the cards I already have. Sometimes I will buy some cheap Southwest flights, and you can earn 6 points per dollar on the cheapest fare if it's something I can expense for my business, or I can be reimbursed from someone flying me somewhere. And then the anniversary points help me a bunch every year. So I get the anniversary points on both of my cards, which total about 12,000, 15,000 points. And then the Southwest hotels is just sort of the final kicker, and that closes the deal. So I've done that the last 3 times. So I do get a lot of people who think that you can only do this with credit cards, and absolutely not. I have some readers that just spend on the card until they hit that 110,000 points. I had one lady who put a new car on her card.
Wow. That's the way to do it.
I don't have that much credit on my card. I don't know how you do that, but.
Yeah, that's a great way to put spend on your card.
Right.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to conclude this show of Points on Points. Lynn, you want to mention how anyone could get in touch with your site or any social media handles, and as well as any final thoughts?
Sure. So I'm at gototravelgal.com. You can sign up for my email there. I send out a weekly email newsletter with lots of Southwest tips. So I always share new ways to earn points when they're having a sale, and I go through and pick out what I think are the best deals in that sale, sort of curate it and let you know if it's a good sale or not, because Southwest has a lot of sales and most of them are not great. Some of them are really good. So you can do that. And then on social media, I'm just at gototravelgal on pick it, name your social media outlet. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just parting thoughts. I mean, Southwest is amazing, not only because we can fly free, but we love that you can bring 2 check bags per person. That's super helpful for a family. We a lot of times will bring a bag of like just breakfast items and snacks to help save on food, where we're going. And I love their customer service. I have some airlines, that literally you could fly for $29 per way, and I won't do it because I've had such horrendous service with them. And Southwest always, even if they have a problem, all airlines have problems from time to time, but they always make it right. And they're generally a pleasure to deal with on the phone or in any way.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Lynn, for joining me on Points on Points, and hope everyone enjoyed this video. And if you have any comments, please comment below, give us some feedback, and we'll see you in the next video. Also, if you want to watch any playlists of other Points on Points shows, you could click this link over here. I have a playlist of other Points on Points shows, and I'll see you in the next video.